Hey everybody, welcome back to the Clear channel with me, your host, Anna Long-Stokes. I am a clairvoyant. I'm also a licensed clinical mental health therapist and energy worker. So to those of you who are new to this channel, nice to meet you. I know there are many new subscribers since I did my Trump video, which, to be honest, I never wanted to read in public, really. That's kind of most psychics' nightmare, I'm pretty sure. But my guides told me to do a video about Trump, and it was amazing to hear the response and see the response and all the people who maybe looked at things a little bit differently after watching that video. So if you haven't yet, you can check out that video. But today I'm switching up gears a little bit because a big piece of news that hit the world since the last time I did a reading was that Taylor Swift is engaged. And people are freaking out about it. They're really, really happy or really, really sad. And I just keep on getting sort of tapped to look at that energy about what that is. And when I was sitting down meditating before this video, one of the beings who came through was Aphrodite. And Aphrodite wanted to do a couple of messages around love for people who are feeling maybe a little bit triggered, for better or worse, by what's happening with Taylor Swift. So we're going to take a break from politics today and take a look not specifically at Taylor Swift, but at love and what Aphrodite's message is today around love. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to bring her spirit in, connect with her. I connect through clairvoyance mainly. I will not be channeling her per se. I will be communicating telepathically and through visuals and symbols. I have 5 questions here that I wanted to take a look at for today's video. This is based on my ChatGPT research, which I just asked, what are the 5 questions people have about finding love? So I'm going to go through that list and see what Aphrodite has to say about that today. One other thing that I wanted to say before getting started is that this is a general reading, so it's going to be like general advice from Aphrodite. Hopefully it resonates with you or you find something in here that feels true for you when I give readings. If I'm giving individual readings, the energy that I read is specific to you. So when I'm doing something where I'm communicating with a being such as Aphrodite, the advice I'm going to get is going to be more for the collective, more for what the majority of people are experiencing. So keep that in mind, that if something I say does not resonate with you or does not feel true to you, then just set it aside and move on. Okay, so I have connected with the being that many of us know as Aphrodite. She's coming in at a really beautiful sort of effervescent pink. And I'm just going to take a moment to set up some ground rules with her, let her know why we are here today, what we are hoping to get out of this as a collective. As someone who is known as a goddess of love, she has a lot she would like to share with us today. She comes here with an open heart and a lot of amusement. So I can tell already that this is going to be fun. She has almost like no nonsense girlfriend vibes coming through. Like, okay, girls, I know this isn't just for women, but it's kind of got this energy of like, okay, girls, we got a list to get through here. So it looks like today's going to be a fun reading. So the first question we're going to take a look at and ask Aphrodite about is, why haven't I found love yet? That was the number 1 top question that came up in my little ChatGPT search. Why haven't I found love yet? So I just want to take a look at what Aphrodite has to say about this for the general population. If you're one of the people who's out there seeking love, seeking a relationship, why haven't you found it yet? What is her message around this? So she's showing me a picture of a person walking a path, and on either side is a lot of people around them. The energy is that the person that they are looking for is showing up as a bright, shiny light at the end of this path. There's a sense of feeling magnetized towards this energy, that this person, when they are on their path, they find themselves magnetized to the right person. She's struggling with me using the term right person, so I'm going to ask her about that. She's showing me this sort of like bird's eye view of how we go through this path of life and there could be many right people for us. She's showing them light up almost like on a chessboard or a board game where the next best person for us is highlighted on this board game. Some people will have one person in a lifetime. Some people will have many. And she's using a lot of showing me the heart space as the heart being a navigation tool, feeling into the heart for finding that right person. It almost feels like a magnetic pull. And in a way, it's uncomfortable. What she's showing me is the right person for you may not be the easiest or the most comfortable. Not to say you won't be comfortable with the person who is right for you at that time, but it almost feels like you can feel it in the heart. And I know that sounds cliche, but that's really what she's conveying here is you feel it. And that can feel so much joy from the heart, and it can feel so much fear of heartbreak. What she's saying to stay clear of is the relationships that just seem almost numb, non-energy invoking. There is not a magnetic quality to them. She's saying follow the heart's compass here when finding the right person and how that feels in the body. It could feel, I'm feeling butterflies, but it's like butterflies in my heart, not my stomach. So she's showing me this quality of how you find the right person. But what I'm curious about is this question. Why haven't I found the right person yet? Okay, so she just wanted to set the stage with that imagery first. That was her intention with showing this magnetized quality towards the one we are meant to be in a relationship with at any one point in time throughout this particular incarnation, this journey we're on. As far as why haven't I found the right person yet? She's showing me two main reasons. One is there's a syncing up of time that needs to happen. It's almost like if you go on a hike, the hike is 6 miles long and you're only 3 miles into the hike. And that next point where you are going to meet the next person, it might be at mile 6. She's showing me this energy of some people just aren't there yet. There's a timing that needs to line up because obviously this involves two parties. It's you and the other person. It's not just you. So you might have a timeline that your mind is telling you is ideal, especially like if you're a woman. You see this with a lot of women, a lot of my friends, they're going, clock is ticking, clock is ticking. I have a timeline here. I need to have kids. Aphrodite is showing me one element of this is time. The other element she's showing me is it's almost a distraction energy where on some level people know what they're looking for. They're ready to be with the person that they feel magnetized towards. But then it's almost like they're like, but I'm going over here. And they shift their energy off to the left or off to the right. And they're in this gray zone. What is the gray zone, Aphrodite? She's showing me like a list here where it's like, okay, well, this is good enough. This will do, da 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 da. I will say from personal experience, I've been in a relationship like that before where it's like the energy is like it's good enough on paper, but like the true heart, maybe the compassionate love was there, but this true heart love wasn't there. So she's showing me the energy of it looks good on paper, so I'm going to settle. And what a lot of people do is they do settle, and they settle because when we talk about being at that 3 mile or 6 mile mark, they aren't comfortable waiting for the 6 mile mark. So they will detour off at that 3 mile mark into something that looks good on paper. Okay, and now we're going to take a look at how do I know if this is the right person? That was the number 2 question to come up here. How do I know if this is the right person? She's showing me you standing here. You're in this like globe of golden light. It feels very magical. A lot of the senses are alive in the body, kind of tingling. She's showing, this is so cool. I don't think I've ever seen it shown to me quite like this before. She's showing me there's this like vibrational match that happens. And I know some humans at this point in time on the planet are getting more and more attuned to energy vibrations when something is lower or higher than their natural frequency. She's showing me that when a couple is matched and it's almost like clicking the puzzle pieces together, but it's less of like putting an actual puzzle piece together and more of this frequency of connection, this frequency of resonance that she's showing me. Okay, that's really helpful, Aphrodite, but my follow-up question to that for people who are watching this going, yeah, but what if I don't feel energy? How will I know? Because I know there's plenty of people who might not have that experience of energy. So what about them? How will they know? She's showing me a picture of two people holding hands. There is this sense of ease, flow. You know, it's interesting. This is almost an interesting contrast to that initial heart sensation I was feeling at the beginning of the reading. This is more of like when you're in the relationship and there's this sense of just like two people flowing together down one path. And it actually, she's showing me a certain amount of the energies work with you instead of against you. She's also showing me that when you're in the right relationship, how do you know? She's showing me a picture of two people in a boat going down a river together, and one person brings something from the right and the next person brings something from the left, but together the boat is more full when you're both working for the betterment of the relationship together. She's actually giving me a red flag, telling me it is a red flag if you are with a partner who is at the point in their life where they can only look out for the needs of themselves, that there's more personal work, personal growth to do for that person. If they are, it could look like hoarding resources or hoarding experiences, just only looking out for themselves. She's saying that is a lopsided relationship, and she's showing that to me as they keep taking things from the outside, putting it on the back of the boat, and eventually the boat capsizes. So she's saying that is a red flag to look for versus the energy of being on a smooth sailing, smooth canoe trip together, where it feels like both parties are contributing. One of the next questions that came up is, where do I meet people who I am most aligned with? And I'm going to see what Aphrodite has to show me or say around this. This is interesting. First things first, she wants to clarify that there's no right or wrong place, but there's this sense of, you could go to the grocery store, you could go to the coffee shop, and the energy is that you will feel resonance with this person. Again, there's that sensation of like, I want to hang out here on the left side of the room versus the right side of the room. And it's almost, if those of you who are like, I don't really feel energy, I don't know what you're talking about, it's almost just a gravitational pull. You don't have to understand this in your mind. It's something that's happening energetically based on where your energy is vibrating. And she's showing me in particular, it's where your energy is vibrating from your heart space, from your heart chakra. Again, she's showing it to me as this flashlight. It's almost like matching like a flashlight that pushes out, and then like a receptor, or maybe like an electric plug in a socket where it's like the two go together. So there's this sense of really beginning to notice your surroundings, notice what you are attracted to. She's giving me red flag here. No, about being on your phone too much. She's showing me essentially how two scenarios could play out with this one person, which is they go into the coffee shop, they are in the moment, they are in the experience of now, and they're just going with the flow, and that leads them to a good match who is in that space, whose energy resonates with them. Another thing she's reminding me to remind you of is that there are helpers around you all the time, helping you make these small decisions that are like, what do I want to do today? Should I go here? Should I go there? So there are energies around you that are helping to support you being on this path that you came here to be on, you meeting these keystone people in your life. And it might not always be super direct because, again, there's two parties involved. But she's showing me this as allowing yourself to be in the senses and be in the present moment. So red flag is do not. If you're looking to meet someone out and about, sitting there on your phone is really going to get in the way of you doing that. So a big part of this that's coming up is around vulnerability. We are all energetic beings. We are all psychic beings. If you have been shutting yourself off in your heart space, it makes it very, very hard for other people to resonate and pick up on that vibration, which is so cool to see. Thank you for sharing that, Aphrodite. She's showing me it's almost like you're covering your heart. So if you're going out in public, but you have a shield up in front of your heart, it's really hard for the receptive energy as you are putting outwards. Whoever is the receptor is not going to be able to feel that in a very obvious way. And why might people put a shield up is because hurt and trauma from the past. She's saying is that we are here to have heartbreak and to have these experiences, and those experiences help lead you to finding your person. But finding your person also requires you to heal from those experiences so that you can open yourself back up to finding a person again. And then one of the other questions people tend to ask is, am I too old, young, or damaged to ever find love? I want Aphrodite's take on this. Aphrodite, is anyone ever too old, young, or damaged to find love? She's just laughing at this, so I'm kind of in amusement with her here. And she's like, no, no, no. And she's showing me again this path, like there are key touchstone people for everyone in this lifetime. This is prearranged before birth. You can get so far off your path that it feels impossible to find them. And she's saying this does happen for many people. It's kind of like you go in on a hike, it's a massive trail, but then you lose the map. You lose the map, you get so far off, all of a sudden you end up like in another state. That can happen, that does happen. This is when people get very disconnected between their body, mind, and spirit. But she's showing me young love. She's showing me non-sexual, but really true heart love can happen very young. She's showing me like 2 5-year-olds exchanging Valentines, and that heart love can be just as big and powerful for that soul as love when they are older. And that love can feel so sweet at a very old age as well, even if it comes later. So either for people who you're finding love much later in life, or you are widowed, have lost who you always thought was going to be your life partner, that there could be someone else there for you, absolutely. That is a match for your resonance, your vibration, or they will resonate with you. They are here to bring love and light to you. She's saying the worst thing you can do, the absolute worst thing you can do is give up hope. And you can follow the breadcrumbs back to that main trail. Because when you're on the main trail, when you are using your heart as a compass and you're on the main trail, you will have a hard time not really almost tripping or stumbling upon this person. It's when you get off track that it feels hard. That looks complete. And the next question that was coming up on this list was, how do I find love without losing myself? That's a good question. How do I find love without losing myself? So Aphrodite, the collective would like to know, how do we find love without losing ourselves? Okay, I'm not exactly sure what this means. She's showing me a picture of a woman feeding her partner a slice of cherry pie, but she's taking that slice of cherry pie from her heart. And the minute she puts the slice of pie down, she puts like more ingredients in her heart, and then she has a full pie again. There's a sense of giving a lot of herself in this picture, but there's a self-regenerating quality to it. She's showing me this in contrast to, I give you half my heart, you give me mine, where it's this energy of like tit for tat, like I give you this percentage, you give me that percentage. She's pointing towards that image of the boat capsizing. When you get in that energy of kind of tit for tat, I gave you this, I take that, things really are not going to work out. Which is interesting because I think most people who ask this question are probably more sensitive. Like, how do I not lose myself in a relationship? Because I'm guessing a lot of people who feel that way have given a lot of themselves and it hasn't been reciprocated. So I want to look at this energy and this message a little bit more. Aphrodite's saying and showing me that there's unlimited amounts of love to give. That's never the problem. The problem is, how much do you love yourself, and do you have the ingredients to fill yourself back up, fill up your own energetic cup here? She's saying that this is totally separate from, like, that over giving to the partner is not the problem. Don't kill the messenger. Don't be mad at the messenger here. She's saying over giving is not the problem. What the problem is staying with someone who is okay with you over giving, who is hoarding the resources of the relationship, the energy of the relationship. That's actually the problem, is staying in a capsizing boat. Because when you're with the right person, there's going to be a natural equilibrium. There's enough love to go around between both parties. There's enough of the pie she's showing me here of the heart space from both parties to keep giving. And there might be times in the relationship where one is feeding the other a little bit more, but that in the end it balances out. As long as this person is filling their own cup, taking care of themselves, it doesn't feel like losing yourself. It just feels like being in love. That's really cool to see. Thank you, Aphrodite. And I'm going to ask if there are any messages she just has that have nothing to do with me looking up the most commonly asked questions on ChatGPT, because Aphrodite might have an agenda here of something she wants to share. She's talking to me about the importance of self-love. She's showing me an image of someone buying themselves this really beautiful kind of, I'm not great with stones, it's like a yellow, really beautiful yellow stone in a gold setting, and putting it on their ring finger. She's showing me that this person is single at the time, but there's this sense of giving to themselves, giving themselves the love that they think they are going to get from somebody else. So what is the message here, Aphrodite? She's really highlighting this component of coming into a relationship, really loving yourself, is doing many, many things here that are going to help you attract the person and be in a good relationship with somebody. But that it all starts with this self-love. And also not just self-love, because I know this is sort of general here. It's a belief that you're deserving of something so beautiful. Like believing that I am deserving of something so beautiful. Because if you don't believe that in yourself, it's really hard for others to believe that. And there's also something about this gemstone she's showing me where it is you could call it like a energetic symbol. It's like a symbol to others that you deserve to be treated well and you understand your value. Because if I could give myself something this amazing, this expensive, I am worthy of it. And again, I'm not talking really about a real gemstone or, Aphrodite showing this. This isn't about spending money on yourself necessarily, although there could be cases it is. It's just about really loving yourself, really doing the things that show you that you are worthy of love. And then you are a natural attractor to others who want to match that energy and give you the love that you deserve. And she's saying that as the main problem she's seeing right now is that many people on a deep energetic level do not believe they deserve love. And then they make decisions that lead them astray, off path. And it makes it a lot harder to get back on track and find that person. And with that, she is closing out the reading. Thank you so much for joining us today, Aphrodite. It was amazing to be in your presence and your energy. This was so much fun.